Agenda when he speaks to a joint session of Congress this week. As he's approaching his first 100 days in office, our new ABC News Washington Post poll finds Biden's overall job approval at 52%. That's higher than Trump's 42%, but much lower than Obama's 69%, and among the lowest for any president in their first 100 days since World War II. Biden receives high marks for his handling of the pandemic, and he prepares to lay out his next top priorities. Here's ABC's White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks.
Tonight, President Biden preparing to address a joint session of Congress where he'll lay
I'm
out...
actually kind of surprised that his approval rating is low. I know Felix talked about this as well. Chappo Felix talked about this as well. On one of the Chappo episodes that I had the time to finally listen to. But, and this isn't necessarily, about like how progressive any particular president has been, but he was saying like Biden is the most progressive president of our lifetimes. And yes, that even includes Obama. And that is kind of true. And it's not necessarily to say Biden is more progressive than Obama because he's so progressive, but more so that Obama was not as progressive as he said he was going to be. So that's fucking insane to say, isn't it? Not necessarily. If of our lifetimes, chat, of our lifetimes in contemporary American presidencies. Stop fucking comparing it to FDR and shit. We are talking about like we're talking about like since Reagan, okay? Post Reagan. So, I mean, he's greatly disappointed me with the $15 minimum wage battle being dropped at the last second. It's like only eating lemons and then eating a fucking grapefruit and saying it's the sweetest. That's actually a really good analogy. I'm going to steal that. It's literally like that. It is exactly like that. Oh my God, what a wonderful analogy. Thank you. Yes. Good one, chatter. It's literally that. Okay? So Joe Biden is relatively popular. What's really interesting about his approval rating is that, hold on one second. I'm gonna pull something up here. So right now he has the highest favorability rating among the 18 to 29-year-old Americans of any first-term president over the 21 years that this Harvard poll has been out. This youth poll has been conducted. The Harvard Institute of Politics is out this morning with a new poll of 18 to 29-year-old Americans, and some of the results are fascinating. Biden has the highest favorability rating amongst this group of any first-term president over the 21 years this poll has been conducted. 56% of young Americans are hopeful about the country's future, including 72% of black people and 69% of Hispanic people. Young Americans are more politically active than they used to be, and there's a big increase in progressive views. Now, part of that is because it's post-Trump. The juxtaposition post-Trump is always going to be always going to be a big reason. Here's a way that Joe Biden could instantly skyrocket his approval ratings even further. That is student debt cancellation. Why have we still not gotten student loan debt cancellation? What the fuck, Jack? Why? Mac, cancel them goddamn loans, Jack. Cut the malarkey. Anyway, more than 10K. In particular, he's exceeded my expectations on austerity and welfare. He's been good. He's done exactly what I expected on healthcare, not prioritizing it, which is too bad, but I understand the politics, and below my expectations on things like immigration. Yeah, it's pretty much, this tracks with literally everything I feel about Joe Biden as well. straight up anti-austerity approach, actually fucking tackling Republican grievances or rolling over Republican grievances quite easily, and not like doing that fake like, oh, but we need to do unity in the country, and then like literally fucking trying to abide by Republican expectations. Partially that's because of Kyrsten Sinema and also Joe Manchin that have been taking up a lot of mental space, occupying a lot of mental space in the Democratic Party. But you know, as I literally called, I don't know where it is, I've tweeted about this numerous times, and a lot of neoliberals were upset at me. I said, I don't think Joe Biden is going to push for the public option. I don't think Joe Biden is going to push for the public option. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up, you're wrong. You're wrong. He loves the public option. He wants to fucking marry the public option. He wants to do a gay marriage with the public option, Jack. What happened? I don't see no public option. They've literally not brought it up at all. As I had said before. Okay. You know, and dog shit on immigration for the most part, specifically because they are literally following through on a lot of the they're following through on a lot of the Trump policies, like as expected of the Democrats. They're pulling the regular Democrat line on immigration.
Out the promises for his next 100 days in office and beyond. His big push now, that massive $2 trillion infrastructure plan. The president says it will create millions of jobs. It's a plan the majority of Americans support. But as the nation deals with a surge of mass shootings, advocates are pressing the White House to do more to curb gun violence.
We actually, as an administration, have taken action. There is only so much, however, that a president can do through executive action.
The administration calling on Congress to step up on gun reform and police reform. Lawmakers hopeful for a bipartisan compromise there. The president planning Wednesday to talk about the issue of police reform and racial justice. Today, Senator Lindsey Graham denying that there is systemic racism in policing.
We just elected a two-term African-American president.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, brother. Hey, we got a black in the White House. What do you fucking want? What are you talking about? There's no systemic racism. Get the fuck out of here.
So our systems are not.
But also simultaneously, BLM started under Obama because, you know, Obama was terrible for the black Americans. And that's why we need Donald Trump again. We need Donald Trump to come back. Because Donald Trump was good for African Americans. Nothing happened. No racial tensions occurred under Donald Trump, whereas they did occur under Obama.
Not racist. America is not a racist country.
And the country divided on immigration as record numbers of migrants cross the southern border, overwhelming the federal government. Vice President Kamala Harris saying there is not a quick solution.
Listen, if this were easy, it would have been handled years ago. Extreme weather conditions has had a huge impact on one of their biggest industries, which is agriculture.
Straight up, this is 100% true. I've talked about this already. Climate crisis migrants are going to become more and more commonplace. That is a gigantic destabilizing factor. There's a gigantic destabilizing factor there with agricultural production getting eviscerated by extreme weather conditions, and that is an inevitability, and it's getting worse and worse year over year. So, you know, that's
parents, and if children cannot literally eat, if they cannot have the basic essential things that everyone needs to live, of course they're going to flee, and that's what we're saying.
Lindsay, Republicans this weekend as focused on the ideas for paying for the president's proposals as the proposals themselves, objecting to tax increases on corporations or high earners. But this week, a group of Republicans did send the White House a counteroffer on infrastructure spending, so some negotiations are ongoing. Lindsay?
Mary Alice reporting in from the White House for us. Thank you. And a programming note, ABC News will provide live coverage of President Biden's address to a joint session of Congress on Wednesday night. I'll join David Muir and our Powerhouse political team beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern here on ABC.
100 days, how does Biden's approval rating rank? Steve Kornacki is breaking down the numbers.
What can you tell us? I'm so happy to see you.
I'm glad to see you as always too, Stephanie. Let's go through the numbers. First of all, you can see it right here. What's Biden's job approval rating basically 100 days in? In our poll, it clocks in at 53%. In that low 50% range, that's been pretty steady for this early phase of the Biden presidency. What can you say about that? You could say two things about it, I think. Number one, if you compare him to his immediate predecessor, Donald Trump in his entire 4 years as president never got above 50% in terms
Oh, sick, dude. I mean, yeah, no shit. Obviously.
of job approval. Biden has been over 50% consistently for the first 100 days of his presidency. That number also, that 53%, low 50% range, that is also below what his other modern predecessors, non-Trump predecessors, were getting at this point. So it's sort of in between for Joe Biden. If we go a little bit deeper into the numbers here, here's another way of looking at it. The positive negative score. We just showed you the job approval. This is about your personal feelings towards Joe Biden. And you can see here in our poll, 50% positive, 36% negative. Put that in some context, some other things that we polled here on this same question. The Democratic Party, a little bit underwater there, 39 positive, 41 negative. The Republican Party, significantly underwater, 32, 46 negative. And then Donald Trump, you don't necessarily hear or see from him as much, but certainly he's still very present in our politics. Trump, a 32% positive, 55% negative rating. So put Biden.
This has literally never changed. Like, it danced around 32 to 33 the entire time. Like, it's just at this point, 33% of the fucking people polled always just love Donald Trump. Like, a third of the country is just like, yeah, I fuck with him. And it literally never changed. Like, from the beginning to end, they held so strong. They're just like, no, brother, I love him. I love him, brother. You will never get me to hate him. It's crazy.
Biden's positive score there. In that context, you can also look at this. We asked folks, how would you say Biden has started as president? Would you call it a good or great start? Would you call it more of a fair or poor start? More chose fair or poor. Now, we can compare this to his most recent predecessors because we asked the same question at the same point in the Trump presidency. So you see 44% say that Biden's off to a great or good start. At this same point 4 years ago, 35% said that about Donald Trump. So a higher rating there for Biden than Trump. But if you go back 8 years before Trump to April 2009, when Barack Obama was president, that was 54. So again, Biden is in between Trump and what became a before Trump.
Okay, this analysis is so dumb if it doesn't come with commentary, but I guess Steve is not supposed to do that. He's the analysis guy. I think overall, in a post-Trump world, with Joe Biden pumping out fucking vaccines like crazy, like he has so many positives working for him. So that is a plus. Congratulations to the Biden administration for not fucking this up. Okay, they did a pretty solid job with beefing up the vaccine production on top of the pre-existing production and the deals that we had made with Pfizer and Moderna and even Johnson & Johnson. But then also, so that's like an automatic W. But on top of that, the big stimulus bill was another W, despite the fact that the $15 minimum wage was not tagged along to it, and that wasn't great. And also, he's not Donald Trump. So those are just working in his favor, even if he doesn't do anything, right? So when adjusted to that, I do find it rather odd that his approval rating is not higher than it is currently. People are caring more about healthcare and immigration right now, in my opinion. I think that's why. Immigration is 37%. If he gets that under control, he's mooning to 60 plus. His foreign policy is so dog shit, it's insane. Yes, but Americans don't give a fuck about foreign policy. Let's be real, dude. Like, Americans don't give a single fuck about foreign policy. His foreign policy is dog shit, though. That is true. Like, it is mind-boggling how Joseph Robinette Biden has been able to basically continue Trump-era shit. Like, straight up. Trump-era foreign policy nearly all the way. It is wild. Whether it be our treatment of Cuba, whether it be our treatment of Iran, it is legitimately mind-boggling that Joe Biden's I mean, it's not mind-boggling. It's just that American foreign policy is always going to be war-focused and imperialist. It is just, you know, that throne is not going to change no matter who's sitting on it. He hasn't done anything about college debt. It's true. That's not great either. Yeah, no, I mean, it's mind-boggling because, like, it's wild that they just haven't done anything different. Like, Biden also rejoined the climate agreement and will stay in the World Health Organization. Like, those are gimmies, right? Those are bare minimum. The announcements, yeah, I know the new census info is dropping. I'm aware. The announcements that came from the climate change summit that he's been holding were basically just reaffirming Obama level, like, Paris climate change agreement protocols. Why do you think college debt should be canceled? I'm not informed on this issue. Because it's crippling and it would be a great economic benefit to millions of Americans.